Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental and the Dental Road Warrior, training for episode 95 in the series. So, a bit subdued today, as you can tell from my intro. I had a direction I wanted to take this video in, and I just got the news that a longtime client of mine from the past has passed away after a long battle with an illness. And I hadn't seen him in many years, but I know he's doing quite well. My condolences to his family, his wife. So Dr. K, this video is for you, and good luck and farewell in your next journey. But it was a pleasure having you as a client all those years. Anyway, the reason why I bring that up is because, I always like to use examples from my doctors from time to time, or real life stories you go through. And it's been an adventure for me doing this for over 25 years. I could write multiple books, maybe I should, about my journey through this dental odyssey I've been on in training and coaching doctors and teams. But today, I just come to the realization that, it always seems like there's a story, right? When it comes to your practice, there's always a story. And the question is, what kind of story is it going to be? What kind of story are you writing in your practice? And I'm a big movie fan. I watch a ton of movies. The 80s were my era, so that was my favorite era of movies. But the question to ask yourself is, because life is too short, right? When you hear news like it was today, it's just kind of a shock to the system. Kind of puts things in perspective, because we think about our real world problems. Death is a pretty serious problem to be dealing with, right? For those left behind, and on the practice and what's going to occur as a result of that. So it kind of puts things in perspective. But the question is, why you have a life in practice? What kind of story is it going to be? Is it going to be the movies is it going to be does it feel like it's a war movie every day in your practice, or every day you go into practice and it's a battle? Like you feel like you're on the front lines of a battle, like you're battling it out with your patients and your staff, and it's like a war of attrition over time with your patient base dwindling away, going through this, pandemic now with, it's almost like germ warfare, right? Does it feel like every day in my practice is like that? Is like a war movie in my practice, or maybe it's even worse. Maybe it's a horror movie, where it feels like, every day it feels like death and fear of what's going to happen next, what's around the next corner, what's my staff going to pull on me next, what's going to happen with my patients next, and it's like that suspense of that, and the horror that we live in. When I look at my bank account, or what I'm dealing with here, are you living in the middle of a horror story, or maybe is it a drama? Like every day you go to work and there's the drama of the team, and it feels like you're on the middle of like candid camera. Some days like like there's people looking in on you. Am I like this? It's Truman Show in my practice. Like what's going on? Is this scripted that this is going on in my practice? Is every day I got to deal with this drama when all I want to do is do dentistry and take care of patients and help other people, and I got to deal with this drama every single day? And is that the story that's going on in your practice? Or maybe it's a comedy, right? It's like almost like it's laughable to you. Some days you have to like sit back and laugh. It's like, is really this going on? Am I being pranked here? Am I being punked in my own practice every day about what's happening? It's almost like laughable about how it can be in the practice. Those are not the kind of stories you want to be writing in your practice. Not the kind of movie you want to be a part of in life in your practice. And you get to direct. You're the director. It's your show. And I say it's got to be a love story. I'm not a big fan of love story. It's not my favorite movie to see, to tell you the truth. But when it comes to your practice, it should be a love story, should it? Shouldn't you be in love with your practice every day, going there, looking forward to walking in those doors, and seeing your team, seeing time with your patients? You should love being there, and love them being around them, and love what you do, because that's what happens, in life. You get beat down, you get beat up of what you're going through in practice, and it brings you down. And then we're writing a different story. We don't intend to go into a practice and have it be all those things, not to be a war story, or a drama, or a comedy, or a horror show. We're there to have it be a love story, really, and that's what it's all about. But the thing is, you get to create that kind of stuff. And I was talking to a doctor the other day, and it's like it's never ending. It keeps coming back that there's always something going on in the practice. And it's like, Doc, I said to him point blank, it's always a story. You always got a reason and a route, but at the middle of the story, it ends up you're always in every scene. It's funny how all the stuff that's going on in your practice that you're not happy about, that's causing travail and upset and disharmony in the practice, you're in the middle of it, and there's a reason for that. Because you're the lead actor. every day. And you're also the director. You call the shots. But the great thing is you get to write that script. Tomorrow when this doctor's wife goes into the practice, there's that story's over there. It's like picking up the pieces now at that point. And trying to move on. You don't have that tragedy going on in your practice. You don't. It may feel that way. The things are so terrible and on the brink all the time, but it doesn't have to be that way. I spent my life coaching other people to have better lives in practice, and they don't always appreciate it. They're not always grateful for it. Trust me. The people that go out there that do what I do, they like to do these videos and get out there and make it seem like it's all wonderful and great and everything else. Look, I live in reality. I have tons of successes, hundreds and hundreds of successes every time, and even with the successes, I have people that are unhappy about things, and I can't speak to them why, and that's just how they are and whatever. You only can do your best, and I'd be content at the end of my days doing this, that people will be very satisfied that they had me and my team in their life, because we do transformational, life-changing things to have them at better lives and better practices. But you have to be willing to want to write your own story, and make it be the way you want it to be in your practice. It can't come from the outside, no matter how much we coach you. It's got to come from your heart and soul, and put your whole heart and soul in the whole thing. And remember why you started doing this. You started doing this because you love it. And I challenge doctors all the time to think about it. Go back to when you first started doing this. Hopefully you were doing it because you loved it and you had a passion for it. And I know that's gotten dragged down maybe because of everything that's been going on, but it doesn't have to be that way. And when you have good people in your life, people that really care about you, and I know that there's 90 some odd % of my clients all get it and feel it, that we have been there for them through thick and thin, and we're always there. It's like a family. So when I hear news about a client who I quite frankly haven't even seen or been in contact with probably for at least 10 years, but he's on my testimonial video, it's on my website, and I'm going to go back and look at it again tonight, and see him kind, as generous, great man. All these years later, I have good feelings about him and his practice and his team and the work that we did there, and he deserved all that benefit. He's just a good person, and he really worked at it every day to have it like that. And he had his struggles too. And I'm sure one time in his practice, he thought that was the worst stuff that could possibly be going on. And later on in life, I'm sure when his health was failing him and things weren't going the way they were going to go with himself personally, if it was only so bad, right, back then, as it was compared now at this point. So as I said, it kind of puts things in perspective. I wanted to share this video at dusk here, and it's kind of late. I'm sorry for the lighting on this video, because I usually do these videos in the day, and this one's more toward dusk, but it just struck me that I wanted to get this within. So just take this one to heart and decide to go back into your practice and bring people into your life that are going to support you and coach you and help you write that love story, and make it be the kind of practice that you love going to and being at every day, and having the kind of people you love and being with around every day, and your staff and all that, your patients, everything. That's what it should be. Don't settle for anything less. All right. I really appreciate you watching these videos. Please share them if you're liking them. Leave your comments here, and I'm looking forward to doing another one and be back in the near future. And we always are here for us. If you want to look me up more, find out more information about me and my company, staffdriven.com, or check me out on dentalcoachingondemand.com as well.